Hey guys, got the engine out of the KX250. Got some clutch work to do. The On the last ride, I had a lot of gear oil coming out of that hole there where that shaft sits. That's you pull the clutch lever and that shaft turns, actuates the plunger shaft, which sucks the clutch in and out. And everything's worn out, so that pivot point got pretty abused. There's a bearing upper and lower, and they were really, really bad. And the shaft was all beat up, and the seal was pooched, so I had to get some work done here. I had to take it out of the engine, or I had to take it out of the frame because the blind hole puller, I couldn't get at that hole with it in the chassis. So that shaft's all worn out, and you can actually kind of see where the needle bearings wore right in, and it was bumpy. That's one off eBay, like 13 bucks. It's gently used, it's nice and smooth, and we got new bearings and seal. Bearings and seal came from English Cycle Centre in London, Ontario. There's that blind hole puller. And there's the bit. There's a bunch of bits that come with that kit. Basically they work, you just thread the bit. You thread that piece down into the bit, it expands once you've gone through the bearing. Grabs the bearing, and then you smack it out with the slide hammer. So to get that all put together, it just wasn't going to work in the frame without things getting a little sideways. So, and it needed to come apart. The front engine mounts come loose after that last cross country event, and it was shaking really bad while I was running. So you got to take the whole frickin' thing apart to get at that anyway. So yeah, the original bits were too shallow. Ground it down. Made it work. And yeah, so we got to put the new bearings in. We're just going to lube them up and give them a whack. I just got a socket and an extension out. Oh, there's the basket. So that thing's worn. Done. Pooched. It really sucked pulling that clutch in too. It was not very smooth. Just a little loose juice on everything before we put it together. Try to line it up. It's a bit tricky to get it to sit there flat, but you can get her. And then just gently, because these things are very delicate. It's a different game than what I'm used to. Car and truck mechanic. This is lots of hard aluminum that's easy to break. It actually goes in real nice. Yeah, pretty smooth. And then yeah, just checking. Sits in there nice and square now. Very excited. I actually do have the bike bottle back together now, and it made such an improvement getting this fixed. There's the bearing number for you. This works from anything 99 to 02 on the KX250. They're all pretty much the same. The manual's got there's a couple little variations, but not much. And the top bearing, we don't want to whack it in too far, but we want to whack it in enough that the seal will go down all the way. So be gentle, have a look, take your time. Just tap it in. Nice. Yeah, it moves freely now. Perfect. Pop the seal in here. And there's not much to these. They goes down pretty easy. You can get it started pretty good with fingers and give it a little tap, but probably should have used a block of wood. I just gave a gentle little, just kind of put the weight of the hammer in it and pushed. You don't want to fold anything over or pinch anything, so just take your time. I ordered 2 of those seals just in case I smushed one. And then a buddy of mine actually has a bike that's a year newer, so if he needs it, I've got it, because I didn't screw that one up. Yeah, don't clean that, just shove it in. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, goodies. New stuff. With the Hinson basket. The EVC material. Reusing the steels. They've been done last time the guy did it, and they weren't burned out or nothing, so. We'll ride this setup hard this year and see how it works. I just let them soak while we get everything else ready. I actually didn't bring something home, so I did not do anything that night. I forgot to bring something home. I forget what it was. But yeah, now we gotta get a little creative. I've never done this before, so this is kind of a pain in the ass, but we got it done. Read the instructions. You're supposed to do things a certain way here, so some of this is what not to do. So you gotta switch that big gear over and the little gear over. Primary gear is the big one, and I don't know what that little hub's called, but it's a hub. So they're just bolted or riveted on, not bolted or anything, so you gotta cut that rivet. And then they give you some little Torx bolts and then nice Hinson kit. And I never done this before, so I didn't know. If you're gonna do this to your bike, whatever it is, look up the part number for these bushings and order them. If it's an older unit. I got lucky, somebody must have changed these last time, or they don't wear down as much as they could, but they were good. So I reused those little black rubber bushings there. But if they were worn out, I would have been not very happy. So this is not how you do that. Well, that's not how you do that. And you don't want to see the disgusting things that happen to get the rest of that cleaned up. But we went scrub-a-dub-dub on the bushings, a little inspection, easy pass, they're good. Here's the new stuff. Zip those out. It's a tiny little Torx, I forget which one now. You're gonna pop those little rubber bushings on. And then put the gear on first, or you get to do it all again. Not that I did that or anything. So we got red Loctite. And then there's a torque spec in the instructions. Can't remember what it was now. Tiny. Oh, yeah. Click, click, click. Always use that thing. And then we're just giving them a little peen, smacking them with the punch on the side of the screw, just to lock things in. Yeah. Huh. 3.3 foot-pounds. So yeah, that wasn't much. Now that little hub, I had it in the freezer for a couple hours, and I definitely heated that hub to 400 degrees like it says in the instructions. And I didn't hit it repeatedly with a 2x4. Look at that. Amazing. As that hub heats up, it stops going into the basket, and then you finish reading the instructions and just hold on for dear life. And it all worked out. I thought for sure it was going to break in half. Here we go. Just lubing some stuff up. Made a bit of a mess, but I'd rather it be lubed up. So be aware when you take it apart, the order things go back together. These old manuals are pretty good, but there's some stuff that makes you just wonder, so try to keep track. And inspect that thing rides on a couple needle bearings that I just put on, and just have a look. They were good, so we're reusing everything. Just a little bit of oil on that stuff. I'm going to be riding this thing pretty much right away there after that, but if I wasn't, I would have just used probably some white lube or something so the oil didn't just drip down. Sliding on washers. That new inner cage. You got all our fiber stuff there. Metal plates. So you want to torque that inner cage in before you put all the plates on it, or you can't grab a hold of that basket anymore. I had my buddy whip me up a set of these. Cheers, Eric. I ordered a set, and then they didn't get delivered. Somebody didn't have them in stock that I ordered them from, so we just made that happen all quick time, and there we go. Click. Work like a charm. Thanks, buddy. Grabbing baskets. And then just, yeah, I don't have much for punches at home, but I just use that little extractor, the tip of that, just to smack the nut over on the thread a bit. You don't want to wreck anything, but you just want to lock the nut in place. I think that was 72 foot-pounds, but don't quote me. And just one after the other, and those discs have a little chamfer on them. I just try to get them all going the same way. I'm not sure which way's the right way, but if they're all going the same way, that probably helps. You got the outer cage, and then springs. Nothing, I didn't measure up the springs, but nothing was too damaged looking or anything, so we're just gonna run it and see how it feels. Good enough for this program. Zippity dippity doo. Run those in gently. They don't torque up very much either. Yeah, that's my inch-pounds wrench, so that one was not very much. It's like the 30s. It was like in the 30s for inch-pound. And then your cover. And yeah, that thing works great now. Feels a lot better than it did. I want to adjust it up just a little bit better. And I got to get my throttle adjusted up a little bit better after having everything apart. And then get ready. Got races coming up. When you're done, pour your fluid in. I got a little handy sight glass. I don't know how many other bikes have that, but it's trick. And then put your brake back on. Rear brake lever. Thanks for watching, guys. We're off to the races.